Good morning. Just finishing my lengthy commute to work here this morning. It snowed last night. I thought it was going to snow yesterday. It didn't, but it did last night. We got to stick a little bit. See, there's snow on the roof. All right, it is a little chilly out to power wash today. Brock's here, and so we got to find some stuff to do. So we're going to start stripping shields off the combine here, getting that ready to clean up, and we need to clean up around the shop, get stuff organized in here a little bit. Like this area, and I don't know what that's all about, but we need to fix it. Yeah. Well, that's a little progress over here. We need to move our def tote out of the way. We'll stash it over in here. Somebody should do something with that tractor that's been sitting there for 2 years. Again, we'll get to it. Time to start de-shielding a combine. There's a lot. We'll make a pile, put them in the back, get them out of the way. Eventually they'll get cleaned up. We should power wash them today. Clean them up before we put them away, Brock. Well, we're making progress here. Got a lot of shields off. We got a pile over here. But taking some of the ones that are kind of bolted on or stuff, like those ones right there have to come off. What else do we got? I'll take this cover off. Let's take that bolt. That one can come off. There's some up here by the feeder house that need to come off yet. These ones right here. And all this stuff on the front of the feeder house. We usually take these off so we can clean it out better. See, if you wouldn't have taken this shield off that was here, you wouldn't have found all this dirt. And we can't be having that on the combine. Oh, there's a lot of it. There's a lot of dirt on this thing. It's a shield that covered all that dirt up. We got a long way to go here. It's dusty. Anyway, my seed truck is here, so we go get him unloaded. More of the same two varieties we got full truckloads of yesterday, which means our rows are getting quite long. These top ones are a little tricky. Got it. Could be one more. Well, we're halfway out. We may have to split those into 2 rows each. All right, we're back down here. Brock took all our shields and put them in the back, so they're out of the way till we're ready to put them back on, which will be hopefully before Christmas, right? We can have this out of here before Christmas?
It's not even Thanksgiving yet, so I hope so.
That's the goal, before Christmas. It would be better if it was even before that by a week or two and we could get a tractor through the shop too, but we'll do what we can. So we got to kind of go through it and see if there's any parts and stuff that we need. The only thing that I know of right now is I am out of shear bolts for that auger right there. There's 3 holes right there that are where the spares go. We broke them when we had our unloading auger trouble, both last year and this year. I forgot to replace the ones last year, so I need to get 3 new shear bolts for there. I broke one of the shear pins that goes right here. This is the single point hookup handle that connects to the pins. That handle latches. Pull the handle, Brock. You gotta pull this out. And then when you pull that, and you push down, see it pushes those pins out. That's how you latch the head onto the feeder house. And I broke one of those shear pins one time because the head wasn't lined up quite right and I pulled too hard and it broke. So I used one because there's spares here, so I got to get another one of those. But I also noticed that the nuts have fallen off of those. They're supposed to be on there, and they're gone. So we need one bolt, screw, and 3 nuts for that. Typically on combines, we replace every chain every year. There are only 3 of them on here. This unloading auger drive chain is the big one. I am considering running this one a second year for a couple of reasons. One, it's a really big, heavy chain. It should last more than a year. 2, it is relatively easy to change because it's just right there, and it's not like you got to take a bunch of stuff off to get to it. And 3, well, it's pretty expensive because it's a big chain. So we'll look at that one. But this is the tensioner arm here. That used to stick down by about 3 inches, and it's pushed up. There's a spring on there. I've tightened this a couple of times. It's loose again. So that chain has stretched, no doubt about it. If we're going to leave it on there and run it again, we've got to take a link out of it, or a half link at least. So I'm considering that. The other ones are over here on the other side of the combine. There is one on the tailings drive right here. Right, this one here. So when we bought our 680, the one combine before this one, we had these same chains. That was the first combine where we had this re-thresher tailing system. And I thought, that chain, we can run it a second year. So we just tightened it up and we ran it a second year. It promptly broke halfway through bean harvest and I had to change it. So I never did that again, never ran it a second year again. I probably won't run that one either. That one's a lot harder to change and it's not as expensive. And then the other one is up here on the feeder house drive, and this chain stretches tremendously through the air. Yeah, there's 4 connector links there. You could take those links out and shorten that up and tighten it back up, but I tightened it 2 or 3 times during harvest. Look how loose it is. You take that chain off and lay it flat on the ground, and it'll make a half a circle. And so that one's going to get replaced too. It's not as heavy. The only one that I'm considering leaving is the unloading auger drive chain, really. So we got to get those coming. Outside of that, I don't know of any parts and pieces that we have to get, but that's why we got to inspect everything and take everything apart. We do still have to get that fixed. So they are under warranty going to replace the auger in this outer tip and the coupler in there. So that's going to go, we're going to take it up to the dealer when we're done going through it and cleaning it up here, and they are going to fix that. So we're not going to mess with it too much. I may try and fold that auger tip around, and if any pieces are loose or whatever, just take them out of there so we don't lose them. But there is that. I found another issue. I don't know how big of an issue this is. Let me turn the light on so you can see a little better. But I was like, where did this oil come from? You can see we've got a little bit of oil right here, and I'm pretty sure it is coming from this hose under this clamp. In my mind, that should also be a warranty issue. So I'm going to take note of it. I'm going to let the dealer know, and hopefully they will just fix that one or replace that hose when it's up there. Let's see, that's this hose. It's a long one. It runs all the way up front there. It's something, I don't know what. That hose comes all the way along the top there, and it's one of these that goes up in there, and I think they end up at the steering valve or something. So, yeah, that's one we'll let the dealer mess with if it's a warranty thing, hopefully. But there's not a lot of oil there, but it's got to be coming from somewhere, and that top one between those clamps is the worst, so I'm guessing it's coming from underneath that back clamp. And of course, the other thing that I get questions about all the time is the automation cameras. Oh, so John Deere sells this Combine Advisor package. We've talked about it a little bit, but essentially they put a camera in the clean grain and the tailings elevator in order to analyze the sample and make adjustments to the combine automatically. It just does it. I ordered this combine with them. We paid for that option, brand new with the combine. They did not have the cameras, could not get me the cameras. I still do not have the cameras. They promised them to me as soon as they came available, and yet we're 2 years of use and a whole year or more than a year since we've gotten this combine, still no cameras. Now, my dealer has done a phenomenal job of, every time I bother them, trying to figure out what's going on with stuff and where they're at and looking into it, and it is not their fault. But those cameras, this one goes right here, one goes right here. So this big elevator here it's a bucket or a paddle elevator, right? There's paddles in there. That chain needs tightened. And that's what takes the clean corn that has made it through the machine into the bottom auger up to the grain tank. And so this little doohickey right here is, one, our moisture sensor, and two, where the cameras go. And there's a plate here to cover that hole up, but that's where that one will go. And then this one is a smaller conveyor. This is the tailings, that anything that goes through the top chaffer and over the bottom sieve comes through this one, gets run through this rethresher and fed back through the machine. And they put a camera right here in order to analyze that sample. So we're waiting for those cameras still. Now, my dealer tells me that I have complained enough, sorry, that they found a set of these cameras at a dealer in Canada and have worked out a deal, I don't know what that means exactly, to get those cameras transferred to their dealership so they can put them on my combine. Now, they have told me this about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I still have not seen them, but they did say they got invoiced and that the cameras were on their way. So my goal is that when we take it up there to have them fix the auger, they can install the cameras. So hopefully we'll have them for wheat harvest. Now, on our other combine, I would pull the sieve and chaffer out every year. Are we going to pull the sieve and chaffer out, Brock?
I don't know, you're the boss.
I don't know either yet. I would like to take it outside and run it with all the shields and everything on it to try and blow some of this dust and stuff off now that it can shake loose a little bit. And you can see there's a lot of corn fodder and stuff on there yet. So if that stuff doesn't come out, there's a pretty good chance we're going to pull these out so we can clean in here a little bit better. We're going to let the dust settle in here. And it's almost lunchtime, so we'll go find something else to do. But we've got the shields stripped off of there pretty good. Last year we borrowed a big air compressor, engine-driven air compressor from one of our neighbors. I haven't talked to him about it this year. We may see if we can't get a hold of that again. It's a lot nicer to blow everything off while it's dry, and the benefit of having a dry fall is that our combine didn't get rained on very much. A little bit, but for the most part, everything on there is still really dry. So we're going to try and leave it that way. Brock and I went to lunch and shopping. We needed some tools. Just some things that you're like, why don't we have anything like this? Like this, for example. This would have come in super handy for cleaning the inside of that disc hub, or where the spindle goes. We didn't have one, so I bought one. 13 millimeter wrenches because we never have any 13 millimeter wrenches. I wanted some 1/2 inch ones too, but they didn't have any at the store either. One of our transfer tanks needs some new alligator clips. For some reason, there's no utility knives in this drawer. This is where they go. There aren't any, so I bought a new one of those. Some screwdrivers, because we have a whole drawer full of screwdrivers. None of them are the right size. Another thing for cleaning pipe. Punches, because for some reason, again, we have a whole drawer full of punches. None of them are the right size. Flashlights, because Brock keeps breaking mine.
I'm not going to say I have to.
It's not even in here. I was going to say, I had one. We were using it on the combine this summer, and he put all the tools away and missed a flashlight, so it got run over. It's okay. Anyway, we have an airline leak on our hose over there, so I'm thinking these might fix that. And some grease gun couplers, because, well, you can never have too many grease gun tips. I'm kind of taking the just buy the cheap ones and replace them every 2 weeks approach rather than...
They have grease in them and they're off and they're probably bad.
I had a whole bunch. Where did they all go? Oh, right there. There's a couple.
But
they're no good?
If they have grease in them, they're probably all greasy.
I bought like a 6-pack of them at one point. Huh. Anyway, so we got some stuff. Well, we got our tools put away. I had Brock do some sweeping the floors. Not in the shop here, but we're cleaning up the sheds out back, trying to get some stuff ready to be put away. So we want to get the floor cleaned up out there. Aha! Looks like it's gonna snow some more. All right, well, let's go see what it looks like out here. I guess he did some out here where Dad's been doing his woodworking stuff too. I'd sort of like to get some of that equipment put inside if possible. But I don't know if we have a whole lot of room inside right now until we get some stuff organized. I mean, there's a little room in here, but Dad's got boards and stuff he's been planing. So, yeah, Brock got the floor swept up good here. That looks nice. Let's go see what we got in the new part. All right, good deal. Yeah, we've got some room in here. So, ideally, we would get equipment cleaned up and then put it in here. I don't know if that's entirely going to happen that way. I'm thinking about just backing the grain cart in here for now to get it inside. But that one, as soon as we get some warm weather. Dang tank peed on my floor. That's probably fertilizer too, because I don't know if this ever really got winterized. But the fertilizer won't freeze, so yeah, not good. Anyway, ideally, when we get some decent warm weather, we can clean that grain cart up in a day, and then we can back it into the corner or that corner or something and unhook it and be done with it until wheat harvest. And some of that stuff we can do pretty quickly. So what am I going to do with this stuff? There's a crate there. That we can take care of. But these arms over here are off of the draper, the bean head. We took those off to put the header height sensors on, and they gave us new arms, and we replaced these ones. But those have got like 500 acres of use on them, and they're still in really good shape. What do I do with them? I can't just throw them away. Anybody need them? I don't know what they're worth. I'd have to look up the new price, but you pay me half of the new price and you can have them. You got to get them though. That'll be expensive to ship, I suppose. Well, I can put them back in a crate. Crate would be expensive to ship, but you know what I mean. They're there. Anybody needs them. Arms for underneath a RD40F draper. I imagine they fit other heads as well. We did get this pretty well tore down and apart as much as we need to do, I think. So next step is air. Get as much stuff off with air as possible, or by hand, picking at it. Like that big pile there, I could just brush off with my hands. So we will get to that. I don't know exactly when, though. It would be nice to have halfway decent weather and for it to not be miserably cold outside. So, although windy days are good because it blows the dust away from you, it helps. So we'll see. We'll see on that, but we will get there. Tomorrow, I think I might be on the road doing some seed business stuff, but I will try and come in the morning or maybe in the afternoon, whatever, and film a harvest review video. We'll go over plot results, some of my agronomic trials, some of the side-by-sides and stuff that I did, and do that. So you may enjoy it, you may not, but I'm going to make it anyway. Yeah, we got a big project here, getting this cleaned up. Anyway, as for me, I'm going home. It's a little early, but I've been working in my garage. I got the insulation in, so that's good. Gonna hang some more drywall. So thanks for watching today. Like, subscribe, questions, comments, leave them down below. We will try and see you again tomorrow. Thanks for watching.